Hello, welcome to the video. Today we're going to talk through a quick beginner's guide on how to brew a V60 at home. So we're going to talk you through the gear you'll need and the method that we're going to use, and then we'll brew a cup of coffee together. So I hope you enjoy the video. Okay, so the method that we're going to use to brew this V60 is we're going to use 20 grams of coffee and we're going to use 300 mils of water, or 300 grams of water. And we're going to grind our coffee a little bit more coarse, so close to a French press, just a little bit less. The method that we're going to use is the first pour is going to be 50 grams of coffee. That's the blue, so that gets all the carbon dioxide out and gets the flavours out of the coffee. Second pour is going to be slightly bigger, so after 45 seconds we're going to pour 70 grams of coffee in. Then we're going to wait 45 seconds and then we're going to go do 3 more pours of 60 grams, all 45 seconds apart. That sounds very complicated, I understand, but I'm going to talk you through it and I'll have it written down below so you can follow it along if you like. Okay, so let me talk you through the gear that you're going to need to brew this V60. So you're going to need, first and foremost, the V60 itself. This is a glass one. I'd actually recommend getting the plastic one because it's cheaper and more durable. Secondly, you'll need the V60 filter paper. Just when you're buying these, make sure it matches the size of your V60. So I have the number 2 here. Next, you'll need a scales. This is to weigh out the coffee and the water. This one has a built-in timer, but that's not necessary. You can get away with using your phone as a timer. You will need, obviously, some freshly roasted coffee. Next, you'll need a grinder. This is a hand grinder that I started out with. I actually have an electric grinder as well, but a hand grinder is perfect. You'll also need a kettle, preferably a pouring kettle with one of these gooseneck spouts. This is actually an electric kettle, but again, you just need any sort of pouring kettle, and you would be able to get away with a normal kettle that you have at home. This just gives you a bit more control. Yeah, that's all the gear. So now let's go into how we're actually going to brew this coffee. First things first, we want to rinse out the filter paper. This just gets everything warm and ready for the coffee. Cool. So I put everything on the scale and we pour out our coffee. So it should be 20 grams, just double check that we've weighed it right. Perfect, 20 grams. And then you just give it a little shake and kind of make a little well in it. And then we're ready to go. So you tear your scale so it's at 0, and then you want to start your timer. So start your timer and we'll pour 50 grams in, and you're just making sure all the coffee gets wet nice and gently, and then we have 50 grams. And then what I like to do is give it a swirl, so just making sure all the coffee is nice and wet, and then leave that for 45 seconds. Cool, so next pour is going to be up to 120 grams, so we're adding 70 grams of water. Nice and slowly in circle motion. Just nice and easy. And then we stop there. And we let that drain down for another 45 seconds. So we're at 1:30 now, and we're going to add in 60 grams, which will bring us up to 180 grams total. Just again, nice and slowly, circular motion. And again, let it drain down. So coming up to our 4th pour, another 60 grams, which will take us up to 240 grams. And then our last pour at the 3-minute will be at the 3-minute mark, and we'll fill up to 300 grams of water, and then we'll let it all drain down. And it should be between 4 minutes and 5 minutes kind of total. And we're just coming up to 300 grams of water. There we go. And then what I like to do at the end is just give it a little gentle swirl, just knocks everything off the sides, and then you give it a tap, and then that should drain down nicely. And then just top this up with water. And then there you have a delicious cup of coffee brewed at home. And I'd recommend leaving it for a few minutes because it might be a little bit too warm. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more coffee brewing guides.